reals this time. It's happening, everybody. Begins in 3, 2, 1. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to There Will Be Dungeons, session 22, with Scott, Bo, John, Kristen, and Kyle. Before we get to it, we got an email. I'm going to rip one out. If you'd like to send emails in, you can just find them on the website over at therewillbedungeons.com. This email comes in from John from South Carolina, who says, "My wife likes the show. My wife, who insists she is not a geek, said it sounded like fun, which is a huge deal. She once agreed to play D&D with me and a couple of friends who were bringing in a new DM. Turned out he was the worst DM ever to play with the game. Killed my wife's character off twice before she hit level 2. His sole purpose was to kill us off as fast as possible. At one point, I am playing Drow, a dark vision, walking across an open field at night, and had to roll a d20 to see if I saw it coming. I rolled an 11, and the conversation went like this. Quote, you hear a noise and feel a sudden blast of heat. You could roll, but you are dead no matter what. Unquote. Anyway, I'm just sending this because you're all doing a very good job and have a better DM than we did. Please keep it going. Keep up the great work, John from South Carolina." Thank you, John. We agree. Bo hasn't put us in any of these impossible situations yet, and for that, we thank him. As does the listenership.
Wow.
Yeah, that's something, right? Friendships would be broken. Ooh, man.
Well,
yeah.
Yeah. It's all. See, the thing about the DM thing, it's all about what you agreed to before.
Right. You have to say up
front.
front.
All that DM's got to say is, I'm going to proactively try to kill you, and if you consent to entering his dungeon, then it's a good time.
Yeah.
Sounds like we didn't have that conversation before.
Enter at your own risk. Speaking of entering, let's do it now. Last we left, Bo Schwartz will explain. Where are we?
Oh no.
I got it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Never mind. Hope will do
we
it.
Ready?
Yes.
A catacomb cathedral! Our courageous crew came out the other side of the barren black unscathed. Trudging tirelessly toward the target exit, they were attacked by mini mushroom men with lashing limbs. Not to be outdone, the cranky cat also reemerged from the pit, preparing to pounce. But luck would not be on the side of this frosty feline. Knocked to its death with a fearsomely flung fireball by Nash Magard of the Solar Mines, it fell as fast as the ferocious fungi. Hopping yet another one of Thailander's tenacious text, progress proceeded until a Gabby gateway. Seeking to avoid death-dealing lasers, Stanley quickly got to work wooing the worrisome Watcher. Now past pretentious plans, Thailander was finally found, but fight he would not, tempting to talk instead. After words failed to woo the weary wanderers, combat ensued against the mad magician's undead army. But rest easy, folks, for the fray was fearless, and Varel found victory on a throne of blood. No loot for our awesome adventurers, save for finally finding a forgotten Catherine Speckles. Dying after whispering wishful words, the troop trudged onward only to hear the familiar questioning and coughing of a malicious meanie they thought they'd slain in Mog Forain.
So good. I mean, this is how we have to do it now, right?
It's pretty darn.
Stop trying to get out of it, Scott.
I'm just saying, Kristen's so good at this. Why would we even want to tempt fate and not have her do it? It's so good.
You set the bar way too high, Kristen.
It's really good. The rest of us can't compare. Are you kidding? We're deep in your shadow now. All right.
Karaoke problem.
Oh, that's true.
First world karaoke problems. All right. Well, that brings us current. Bo, have at it. Oh, I should do this. Sorry. Hold on. Let me do this real fast. Just a second. Wait, why isn't it doing it? Okay, there we go. There we go. There you go. Now, Bo, have at it. Give it to us right where it hurts.
Hope, Stanley, Varel, and Nash rushed down the hall out of the cathedral into a cavernous area. And as they approached the end of the short hall, it opened up into a large room. And in this large room, what they were seeing before them was in candlelight and in torchlight this wooden stage. And atop the wooden stage, they saw Thailander hovering above a cauldron. whispering magical incantation as he sprinkled what looked to be fingers into the cauldron. And before they could react to what the information they were seeing behind them, they saw a 20-foot demonic creature, black, body covered in oil as if it was constantly oozing this sweat from its body with a little bit of smoke. Black everywhere, no other color but the white of its eyes, and when it opened its mouth to greet them with, "Hello, adventurers, we meet again," as he recognizes you immediately from running down the hall. So you guys are in the hallway, you guys are approaching the room, and as you get closer, you see on either side several crystalline, I can't remember if it's stalagmites or stalactites, but these rock protrusions, and if you care to refer to your map, you can see them. They're blue, surrounding the wooden stage where the cauldron and Thailander is.
Yep, there they are.
You've been recognized. I'll put Quizquaz in there. He's immediately recognizable to you as Quizquaz, as you identified it at the end of last week's episode. And he stands there kind of clutching the wall like some sort of predator, like he's peering into another room, except he's in this room, which is kind of coyly clutching the wall. And he sort of like leers at you a little bit, but there's like a smile and happiness in his white eyes.
When you said Thailander was hovering over the cauldron, is he flying at the moment?
Sorry, not levitating or flying.
Okay.
We've got to be careful of my nomenclature, but hovering above it, concentrating and not paying attention to you. But Quizquaz has echoed out his greetings to you from across the room into the hallway. The walls have returned to the same rock, the same moist black rock face of deep mineral.
Is this another Thailander trap on the ground, written sigil between us and...
Yeah, there is a glowing sigil on the ground between you and the opening to the cavern that you can see from within view.
And is it...
You can't make out much more. Like, you do have the map in front of you, so you see the room dimensions, but from your vantage in the cave, you can't see the peripheries on the side. Just what's in your eye line.
Okay. Yeah, here we go. So this, is it the same? I realize visually for us here it may not be, but is it visually the same as it was in the last encounters? The sigil on the ground?
No, this one does look different. It is more ornate. It definitely looks to have more circles and lines in it, and it glows. It hums like with this yellow brightness that illuminates the area within like 5 feet of it. It's very hard to miss.
Okay.
Thailander stands upon the stage with the cauldron, and he's he's got one hand up. He's just swirling it around in a circle, and he's from a pouch of reagents from the corner. He picks up fingers. He's just to be sprinkling them slowly and very deliberately into the cauldron.
That's no good.
Yeah, that seems bad. I'm trying to remember where we write. I mean, we're all hurt, right? How hurt is everybody? I'm hurt.
I'm still here physically.
Little of both. I'm currently at 16 hit points.
Another important question. During that last fight with the zombies, I gave everybody temporary hit points for an hour. Has it been an hour, or are those still in play?
No, you defeated them, searched around the room a little bit, talked with Catherine Speckles, so you still have your temporary hit points. It's maybe even 10 minutes.
Okay.
We talked about getting a short rest in at this point, but I warned you out of character that it was a kind of a dangerous situation and not likely to be restful, as you all would feel a great amount of anxiety.
Well, if we have those temporary hit points, that's good. I can't speak for everybody, but that puts me at full. At least.
Yeah, I got some heals from Stanley as well.
Yeah, at least for 50 minutes.
Another detail worth noting here, just so that Quizquaz was a creature of about 6 to 7 feet when you'd first encounter him. His form is 20 feet tall. He's towering above on that rock. He's recognizable to you, and he's identified himself to you, having greeted you with the familiar voice. But he looks completely different than your previous encounter, save for that his skin sheds oil and that he has this very glowy, smoky characteristic to his eyes and mouth and nose.
And does he still only occupy a single 5-foot?
That's Thailander above the cauldron. Quizquaz is he's not red. He's represented by that red token in the back.
Got it.
So you can see. Yeah.
Got it.
He's clutching the wall. I'll move him a little bit here. There, he's more. He's like clutching the wall with the side of his body. His belly's like up against the rock face that's back there, and when he moves a little bit, there's a little oil slick left on the wall. And he's said hello, and he stopped moving, and he's just watching you intently.
Did you say there was anything special about these crystalline blue crystal things?
Apart from the fact that they're sort of an unusual, they're crystalline, and there's stalactites, but they seem very distinct and separated from the walls. Like this room was cleared out possibly by a natural force. It doesn't look like it's man-made. The walls are jagged, so this opening here is naturally formed, or like formed by some great beast long ago, perhaps. But it strikes you as odd to have cleared out this space, but have these 8, rock trees basically hovering about 6 to 8 feet up from the ground, and in a circle around the wooden stage, which is also in the shape of a circle. And the stage itself is not. You can see underneath, and underneath there's like this sort of mound of rock under it, and the stage is built atop it. So there's these little steps to get up. And the wood is made of the very shoddy wood, like when it gets black from rot, like an old black barn, like looks like that kind of wood.
So these runes on around the circle of the stage, are they anything for us to think about or know about?
There are glowing runes around the stage, yes.
Okay.
They're difficult to see with great detail from your vantage point, but you do see a glowing circle around the stage.
While not the, usually the most stealthy guy, Varel will say, "We've killed both these men before. I think we require a different approach. Stanley, this may be the time for your flirtations. Nash, what is this place?"
I'll have to get closer to tell. Actually, how close can I get, Bo?
You can go wherever you want.
Oh.
I knew that was coming.
All right. Well, okay. Here's what I want to do. I want to go there, just outside of this thing.
Okay.
And I want to do an Arcana check here, if I can.
Okay. Roll an Arcana roll.
All right. 16. Wait, is that plus 5? Yeah, 16.
So you bend down and look at it, see what you can pull from memory and from your intuition about these magical markings. They do look familiar, like the similar glyphs of warding that have been placed on the ground in various parts of Slavetown in this cave that trigger some kind of magical effect or spell on a specific instruction. In the case of the ones that you've encountered, it's always been when a creature's come into contact with it or disrupted it.
Right. Or we throw something on it.
Yeah, it's no telling what the consequence, once the if clause is met, what triggering magical results from the glyph.
All right, I turn to the group and I say, I don't know what the reaction will be, but this is clearly here to protect this room. We cross this and we're in for the fight, and who knows what else. I don't know what it'll do. And unless someone's got a body we can heap on top of this thing, I don't know if we have a way to trigger it and be safe.
Well, we can't just stand here and let him complete whatever it is he needs to do. Vorel's right. These are 2 people we've killed before. We can do it again.
Afraid I am unaccustomed with fear, and this shakes me. I do not wish to engage in those that are already dead. beyond what my fists have smashed.
Hey, Quizquaz, you're looking better. How's things? It's been a while.
He looks at you and he goes, "Is this Stanley? I've got a bone to pick with you."
Well, so much for no hard feelings, I suppose.
Well, would you promise me you won't attack me like the cowardly way you did last time?
I mean, I'm all the way over here, and you're certainly more intimidating than before. I'd offer you an apology, but you sure seem to have moved up in the world.
It's a long story, but you caused me a great deal of inconvenience.
Well, we're not going anywhere, Quizquaz. We seem to be stuck over here at the moment.
You're not stuck. You can make it closer. And he shifts his body a little bit and says, "I owe you something for what you've done to me, but it won't be today."
Why is that? What is today?
Well, I serve now at the pleasure of my new master, and I have very specific instructions.
Are you talking about Thailander?
Do not include harming you.
Your new master is Thailander.
Thailander! I serve not this mortal.
Well, you're hanging out with him.
I serve a power greater than me.
Who do you serve?
His name is Ketobel Praith.
Nash in the
When
background.
you killed me in the depths of Moldfrain, I was lost in the piss for an eternity.
I mean, it's been a couple days.
But you mortals, your days. It's not the same thing for me. But Ketobel Praith brought me back on condition that I serve him. And I owe you one for that.
Well, guys, I don't think Quizquaz is going to be very amenable.
Now. I said I wouldn't harm you, and I won't.
Where is this Ketobel Whatsits? Says Nash.
It's difficult to explain.
Is he here with you?
In a manner of speaking, yes. He's here.
That sounds bad, Stanley. That's only...
Thailander's in the process of summoning him for an audience. Perhaps you'd care to join him. What a fortunate turn of events for you.
I don't see how joining him is going to be particularly fortunate for us. See, we came here to kill Thailander.
As you please.
No skin off your nose?
Thailander's responsible for his own accord. I'm simply here as an observer. As someone looking into Ketobel Praith's investments. I used to drink dreams, and they were delicious. And now I have to watch pedants attempt to raise an army of dead. How pedestrian.
Cry me a river, you
Jump the
bastard.
thing.
Hope's jumping the thing.
Yeah. Are
I'm
you gonna,
jumping the thing.
Can she jump the thing?
Not the way you did it, but yes, you could probably find an angle and hop over it. You're gonna need to make a little acrobatics check, please.
Alrighty. 11.
All right, you're able to clear it. That you have enough strength distance for your run and jump. No,
Cool.
you leap over the glyph without event.
Awesome.
I will advance with her then.
Okay, more leaping. Acrobatics.
Acrobatics.
Varel and Hope run up and take a running jump at the glyph.
Is it acrobatics? Like I'm doing a flip?
It's acrobatics, like you don't have to flip, just make it across.
Oh, well, that's a 7. I'm a
I
strong,
get to see
but
what
not
this
nimble
does,
man.
Buzz!
Okay, so you take a running jump across. You have the distance to clear it, but the overhang and the positioning of the cave makes it a little awkward. And you make it across land, and then look back and notice your tail is just dangling on the edge of the glyph. And the glyph triggers.
Oh no.
And the rocks immediately above Nash and Stanley start to fall down. Make dexterity saves.
Oh shit.
It wasn't me this time. For the record.
Well, this ain't good. That's going to be 11.
Okay. Dexterity save, Nash.
15.
Okay. So Nash, you run forward immediately, getting yourself safe alongside Hope and Nash. Stanley, you actually make it out too, but on your way out, a big rock clips you in the side of the shoulder, and you take 5 points of damage as the rock just pushes you back and like pulls muscles in your back and bruises up your shoulder. And you hovel up. Hovel in, and the rocks continue to fall and shake behind you and actually bury the passage in, and now there's no way out as the rocks just fall down in a manner that's like abrupt, fast, and violent, and a cloud of dust sort of circles all around you, reducing your visibility.
Well, Varel, you called that one real well.
These magics, they're inconsistent. I blame them.
Your infernal tail! Yells Nash.
Now would be a very good time to unleash all that anger on magic in general. I've got a good target for you right there.
Anyone else?
I'm pulling out my shotgun. I've loaded it up slowly but surely, kind of like humming a tune to myself, and then I aim it right at Tylander and take shot.
Okay, cool. Then with Stanley's encouragement, I will enter my rage yelling, "You stay dead this time!"
I'm gonna throw my rapier and say parlay.
Okay, we need to get your rapier out. Sorry, but okay, you guys all assume your battle.
Yeah.
This is like the Voltron moment where everyone's like,
Yeah, everybody kind of gets ready.
Transformation.
Yeah.
yeah.
Everyone's pose.
Power Rangers. Mine looks, what does mine look like? I just got my staff. You know what it looks like? It's like that art I just did. That's what I do. I get into that stance and I'm ready to just, like, freaking tear my nail into your ass.
All right. What? You're gonna tear your nail another
I get to
ass?
see this attack, but I'm excited.
Nash Megard says I'm gonna tear my nail into your ass.
All right. Let's get some initiative rolls, please.
All right. Six.
6 for Nash,
8.
8 for Stanley,
15.
15 for Hope,
2.
2 for Varel.
Oh.
Okay.
My
so-
tail's caught.
Okay. Your tail's fine. It's free. It's triggered the trap. No rocks fell on it. Okay, so everyone is just looking all cool, ready to pound the piss out of a undead magic guy. And he moves, so he doesn't pay attention to any of this. He's still almost as if in a trance, is working on the magic ritual in the cauldron. You don't know to what end,
Okay.
except for what Quizquest said, which was summoning Cthulhu Praith, but you don't know
Does he seem? He knows we're there, right? He's aware of our presence. He's not lost in some trancy thing where
You would have caught him, even though he's focusing intently on what he's doing, dart his eyes up and then back at what he was doing.
Okay.
So you know he knows that you're there.
All right. I knew that guy was up to no
But there's
good.
a confidence to his movements, like he's not threatened by anything you've done so far. He stands there with his hand. He goes, "Harumbangarageta, Hiroronzaba, Hironrozaba." And you start to recognize this tongue, Hope, as you speak Infernal, correct?
Yes.
And this is an Infernal tongue that he's speaking, and he's basically praising Ketobel Praith and requesting his audience and showering him in compliments in Infernal.
Okay.
So, can what's
Ketobel Praith is great.
is this cauldron thing?
Rocks above Cthulhu Praise.
Is it? He's not blocked by it. There's no line of sight problem here or anything.
No, except that he's about 5. It's like 3 feet up on a wooden, 3 or 4 feet up on a wooden platform.
Okay.
So it would use half your movement to like step onto the platform.
Oh, I see. Basically double the. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
Who's first? I forgot who rolled. Who got
Sorry, Hope, you're up first.
All right, cool. I will shift to the left. So if I need to take cover behind one of those crystal structures, I can. And I'll aim with a clear shot and take a hit with my gun, my shotgun,
Okay.
with 20, not natural.
Okay, so you take a shot with the gun, you load it up, aim it towards him, fire, and there's a bunch of smoke comes out of the end of the shotgun, and nothing happens.
All
You don't
right.
see where the bullet went. You don't hear like a ricochet, or like you can't spot it where it might have point of impact would have been in this room. And he seems unmoved.
Ah,
And you swear you heard a little.
yeah. I'll yell at Varel, "Tend the cauldron! Empty it!" And that'll be my turn.
Okay. Stanley, your turn.
All right. Well, I'm going to likewise shift over to here. And over the opposite end behind one of the crystalline structures for
Behind one.
cover.
So for audio listeners, Hope is taking cover behind a crystalline structure, and so is Stanley at this point.
Yeah, opposite sides of each other.
Can I get control of the sword?
Oh, pardon me.
That's all right.
Where's the gear button? And then I'm gonna push show nameplate. I'm gonna call it diplomacy. I'm gonna give it to John. There you go.
All right, and we're gonna try to send the sword over to attack Mr. Thailander.
Okay. You go to send the sword through the circle, and the sword, as if jutting up against something, just holds in place as you continue to try to will it through.
So like there,
So
right in front of me.
like in here. Like when you take 2 magnets and push them against each other on opposite sides, there's like this force sort of just, it's just quivering there, trying to make its way through, and it won't go through.
Nothing's getting through.
That
explains your bullet, Hope.
Because basically, I mean, this thing's just absorbing anything we throw at it. I turned to Varel, sitting next to me.
Do you think it's these crystals? Maybe if we destroy them, we destroy the barrier.
My turn's done, so whoever's
Okay.
next,
Snatch's
that's a
turn,
good
so-
test.
Nash is Snatch's turn, so you can start by saying.
That was my first part of my turn.
You can say a couple words on your turn.
How about him?
I mean, you're not in combat, so you can take as much time as you like on your turns right now, because it's not like there's an opposing force.
Can he reply to me, or is that a problem?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like when we're in the heat of combat, we can't be having conversations,
Right.
that are protracted, right? But it's just you guys. Like we've rolled initiative, but there's no force.
Right.
There's no enemy force yet. So,
Yeah, that's
if
what I
you wanna
assumed.
Take your time and chat. You're good.
All right. So I asked that question to Varel. Varel, what do you think?
No, I'm in my rage, so my eyes darted to the cauldron that I was gonna smash. And I'm so ready for that, but now I listen to you, and I'm looking at the stalactites, and there's magic everywhere, and eyes are darting around, looking a little overwhelmed, but pissed as hell.
All right.
Not getting through.
Smash the stalactites.
That's what I'm thinking.
All right.
Well,
So
do it.
I want to take
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead, Bo.
Oh, sorry. I was gonna say it's still your turn, so we can still, take your actions.
Yeah.
We,
The
you have
problem
to
is,
consider his rage. It's only gonna last so long now.
yeah, I don't want to. The problem is, I want to attack one of these stalactites, but they're the ones within my sight range are right next to people I like. So I'm a little worried about that. So this puts me in a weird position.
Remember, there's not much issue. It's only AOE stuff that's we really have to be
Just
careful
shoot
of.
it, Nash.
And I'm
Fire
worried-
bolts and the like. I haven't been.
Well, I'm just
punishing
worried about
too much
them.
for this.
If I destroyed one, could it harm her? Could shards of it or her or him? I am thinking of Stanley as well.
I mean, it depends how hardcore you're. If you're gonna explode it with something, yes, the shrapnel will fly out.
All
If you're
right.
gonna chip at it with like a pickaxe, probably fine. Or even just like try and break it with rock breaking spell. I don't know.
All right, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna move here, and I'm going to take a whack at this. Just a physical attack with my staff. I just want to see what this thing's made
Sure.
of.
Roll an attack roll,
All
please.
right. 10.
Okay. So you hit it, and your nail, dink, doesn't even crack the surface.
Great.
Just you see a little bit of maybe a little bit of particulate, psh, like just sprinkle off, but there's no crack and no penetration or breakage, and yeah.
Okay. To finish my turn, I just go. It's made of stronger stuff than my staff. I have no idea how to break it.
Blast it with something, Nash.
Well, it's too late. My turn's over, and then my turn's over.
Go for it.
Is this is the space of the runes because Stanley's sword had some room? Am I able to move through that?
You're able to move into it. There's nothing visible to you that looks like you couldn't move through it.
And I can't get by Hope here?
Yeah, she's kind of blocking your way a little bit. I would allow you, if you wanted to move around, maybe to move here. Like as you slide past on the diagonal, but yeah, it's cramped.
Okay, cool. There's a technicality to my rage that I have to attack hostile creatures,
Okay.
or it'll fail. So I am going to dash past everybody, past the failures in my raging eyes, for a double movement to Quizquaz.
Okay.
Oh.
I like this.
Okay, so you're using your dash action. Very good. So move at 60 feet total.
And if there's an issue with moving past Hope, I'd barrel over. I'm going.
Oh no.
No, there's no issue. She can clutch the side as you run past. She sees you running. She knows you by now. She clutches the side of the stalactite, giving you enough clearance here on the map to get through, to run past. So that's 30 feet there where you are now. You're next to this large cage in the corner of the room. You see, similar to the one Catherine Speckles is being held in, there's a cage and there's some corpses that are dissected in there. You run past that. You're now on the second stalactite on the left side. 30 more feet.
Yep, 30 more feet puts me next to Quizquaz.
Okay, do it.
All right,
All
that's move and action, and I will, in my rage, I will burst flames and go, I have flames for Quizquaz!
You go, I have flames for quick. It's a con save, right?
Yes.
Con of 13, a save, right?
Correct.
13 save? Yep. Okay. So the fire, he looks and the fire sort of flakes off the oil and doesn't have an effect. And he takes a big finger and he puts it on your forehead and sort of pushes you back and goes, Down now, Varel, I come in peace. I'm not here, pretend I'm not here. And he just sort of pushes you back with his finger on your forehead.
Comes in peace. That
All right.
I thought I adequately No. I thought I adequately explained that I wasn't here to dirt you. And he's saying this more to Stanley as he pokes his finger in your forehead to keep you away. And he's like, please tell your friend to stop attacking me.
Like he's bullying me, like holding my head back.
Yeah. He's 20 feet tall, so it's like a toddler comes up and tries to hit you, and you just hold their head, and they can't do anything. So he's got a finger right between your two eyes, and there's enough force there to you're like like this.
We're not here for you, Quizquaz, but he does need to fight something. How do we get to Thailander? You said you don't care what we do. Well, let's aim him at him.
Well, don't you have any magics to dispel such a force field?
No.
Why don't you try jumping through it?
And at that moment, you see Vril go, oh, and stop pushing against Quizquaz, and I'm ready to go.
Okay.
On my turn.
All right, well, Hope, it's your turn right now.
All right, hearing that, I'll walk in.
Okay, Constitution save, please.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no.
What a dick,
7.
Quizquaz.
All right, as soon as you go to walk in, it pushes you out, and you're like, ah! It's like you're running against the wind that's too fast, and you just have a hard time making it, and you sort of scrape yourself out, and Quizquaz sort of reacts like, oh, you'll have to try harder than that to get through. But this causes a reaction.
It's turning into Bobcat Goldthwait.
He does have a different form, so his vocal box might be a little different. Thailander, though, you notice he stops what he's doing as you try and push your way through, and he looks at you in your eye as you attempted to walk through it. And as a result, he hastens, appears to just be hastening what he's doing in here. Let me just make a little roll on my side. And then he brings both of his arms up. He goes, Shadabumte! And both of his arms come up, and then they come down Fantasia style as he orchestrates this giant move, and the cauldron, a column of liquid blood, fires up from the cauldron and hits the ceiling. Like more blood than is possible to contain in this cauldron jets out from it, and then it falls all down all across the wooden platform, including him, covering him in viscera, fingers, and blood. And then his body channels with this glowing white energy as four sorry, he only has the one hand, so it's a stump. The other one, you have to picture a stump. and from his four fingers on one side and from his stump on the other side, this blue-white energy slowly curls out and starts and attaches itself to the eight columns in the room. And the one nearest to you, Hope, begins shaking. Like, you know, like a triangle or some sort of mallet style instrument. You hit it and you can see the micro vibrations. It's starting to micro vibrate. It's like, and he says, "Controllable praise will be your reckoning." As the room lights up with magical energy. Okay, Stanley, it's your turn.
Geez, so there's tendrils all going around it, or coming out from the cauldron to each of the crystals?
There's a magical energy, like I guess you could call it a tendril, like a wavy string coming from Thailander to the thing. I'm just getting my pen, so like I'm drawing a little like pews,
like spokes on a wheel.
Yeah, but they're like wavy blue-white, and he's got like this glow of blue-whiteness about him, in addition to being covered in blood and there being viscera everywhere, as he looks like he's channeling energy into them, basically.
So they don't seem to have any sort of physicality. They seem to be energy.
It's energy, yeah.
All right, well, for my turn, I'm going to also try to run through the barrier. I'll grab diplomacy as I run by, seeing as it's not doing any good.
Can you pick up diplomacy?
And try to move through the barrier.
Okay, Constitution save, please.
That's going to be a 9.
Okay, you take a running start at the glyph, and it's like the wind's so strong. You're running on a conveyor belt. You just get that pushes you back. Doesn't cause any damage, but keeps you out. This magical force is more powerful than any magic you've ever come across. It feels nigh impenetrable. It feels like you'd have to have someone like force you into it, but you worry you'd be crushed. Perhaps it feels tough on your chest. You know, like you should get the shortness of breath from the force.
All right, well, I think that's all I got. That's going to be it for me.
Okay. Nash. Nash.
My first effort is to yell to Varel. Varel, are you unraged now? You're kind of not. You're not in some blind rage now, right?
I like how you haven't learned. Like, it's been like 5 times where you talk to him and he's raged.
Yeah, because
and he's like, I can't talk to you.
I know.
And he's still that. You're like, are you raged now?
I just need to know because I want to double size him and have him try to go through the hole or go through the ring.
I want to see Nash interact with the Hulk, just constantly looking up at him.
Now because
Getting angry.
He's still angry.
I'm the Hulk.
And I'm over there like on fire, yelling.
Are you
But
still mad?
in all seriousness, Nash, I would say the conversation now has to be on your. There's no. The back and forth has to be really
Okay.
quick, or you have 6 seconds to say something
All
to
right.
your teammates.
All right. In that case,
I mean, you know I'd be for it. Like, of course.
yeah. The problem is how to get to you though. Because I can't. I assume if I shoot through it, I'm just gonna lose it through the first field. And if I go around you, I mean, it'd have to go.
Theory that hasn't been proven yet.
Well, that's true. But if I came over here for a move, well, that might work. Hey, because you already let him through here anyway. All right, that's what I'm gonna do. I take my ass over here,
Okay.
and then I want to cast.
So he's moved to the 3rd stalactite on the left side,
Right.
and he's taking cover behind it, and it vibrates as you get closer. You hear a as it vibrates, and you think you notice a little hairline fracture in it.
I'm gonna cast enlarge. It says a 30-foot range, so I'm in plenty of range for that. There is a. I guess you have to do a Constitution save.
But you can just choose to fail it, and that's fine.
Right. Okay. Hold on a second. 16.
You don't need to roll anything.
Oh, I don't have to roll.
No,
Oh, I
no
can just
rolls
do
are
it.
required when it's a willing. Like, the
Oh,
roll is
'cause
required
you-
for an enemy.
Right.
If they're not willing to accept the spell.
Gotcha. Okay. No,
so-
that makes sense, duh. All right.
With
so,
open arms.
So he's I've turned him into a big fatty. He's ready to go.
You begin growing uncontrollably again, and it's a feeling you're getting used to and liking. Quite a
Oh,
bit.
yeah.
And then I stand back, fold my arms, and smile, and that's the end of my turn.
All right. Varel, it's now your turn.
All right, the stalactite next to me, even in my rage, is it part of the ground or is it in it, on it?
It's in the ground. It looks like it looks like it runs deeper than the ground. That it's
Okay.
protruding from the ground because it has this bluish, very light bluish color in contrast to the blackness of all the rocks and mineral in the room.
All right. Jeez. Okay, I'm gonna run at Thailander as an attack.
All right. Now I'm going to Constitution save as you go through.
All right.
You are going to get advantage due to your size.
Sweet.
Nice.
Okay. It's 14.
Okay, you jump, you run your way through, and you feel the force, and you go ah, just force your way through it like you rip yourself through. There's nothing there, but it feels like you've just walked through a wall, basically, and that you showed that invisible wall what's up. And you make your way onto the platform, and where you stand on the platform, because you're heavy, your feet sink in a little bit, and wood pieces of lumber splinter up. But there's surface underneath, so you don't fall in. It's just the wood has this like these lizard foot shaped footprints in them, and Tylander immediately looks back over his shoulder as you enter in with a look of fear and panic in his eye.
It's still raining blood.
The blood's fallen down now. Everything's
Okay.
just covered in blood. So the wood, picture it with your footsteps with blood and viscera and fingers. You crushed an eyeball and went, stuff like that.
Was that a standard action or just the move?
That was your move.
Oh, awesome. Tylander! And I'll bring down my fist, my giant fist, to try to just smash him where he stands.
Okay, an attack roll, please.
Attack, I'll do reckless attack.
Okay.
A 17.
Okay, it is a hit. Please roll your damage dice.
All right, unarmed. Ooh, did my size category go up?
You are now huge, I believe.
So a
Or
D4
large.
to a D6?
You get 1d4 additional damage when you're.
Oh.
I think you have to ask Scott for the tooltip,
Oh, hold on. I can tell you.
but I think it's an additional 1d4 or 1d6 damage.
That is correct. Bo is correct.
1d4 or 1d6.
1d4. Sorry, did you say 1d4?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is
I kind of
correct.
said both, so I just.
Oh, yeah. 1d4.
Awesome. So 8 damage, and then I will flame burst.
And then you will flame. Okay, so 8 damage to Tylander. Let me just write that down. And then flame burst for 2. So Constitution save. Okay, so you do the 2 damage, I believe, as well. Okay. All right. So you bring your fist in and you go to just crush him. And what's surprising is when you hit him, you know you've hit him, you've inflicted the damage on him, but you're surprised that he wasn't crushed or splattered. He's surprisingly made of some sort of resilient substance. Like, it's just surprising. You just hit him and bam, and he's like, ah, and he still holds on and channels the energy. But he remains unbroken, which is hugely dissatisfying.
Magic!
Cursed magic.
Okay. Do you have any more actions to do on your turn?
That's all of them.
Okay. We go back to Hope.
All right, I'll put my gun away, pull out my machete, and talk at the bubble, sing Varel in there, and start taunting Tylander. Like, Tylander, you're a pathetic excuse for a demon partner, and you're going to die now. And then I'll try to go through again. With an 8!
Okay, so wait, you're trying to move with an 8
Just
again.
using my
You're
machete
forced
to
out.
try and-
So you do this while trying to walk through the energy force.
Yes.
He's like, you piece of shit, my beepity beepity. Yeah, okay. Now, do you want to make use that as an action to inflict some kind of effect, or is this just self-satisfaction at this point?
I rolled an 8 for a Constitution to see if I could get through. So this is I'm just hacking away at this invisible barrier.
Okay, very good.
Actually, yeah.
Stanley, your turn.
You should butt it with like your horns like a goat. That'd be pretty funny. Swearing and hitting it with your head, with your horns.
I like
I'm
this.
gonna try to get another run and dash through the barrier. See if I can get through.
Okay.
And I'm going to use my DM inspiration. How does DM inspiration work?
You get advantage.
Oh, okay.
And you can use it after your roll, I think. I don't think you have to declare it before.
All right.
It's
Well,
a very special, powerful
that
thing
was
for
after
great
the roll
role-playing.
because the roll was really bad.
Yeah. I know, I heard the roll.
There we go. 17.
Okay, so you take a running start at it. Is that 17 with your modifier?
+1.
Okay. All right, I'm just checking. So as you run through it, you can feel it's crushing your ribs, like and there's the new pain on your shoulder with it's just like you're in so much pain, but through force of will, you grab on, and and put a knee onto the wooden platform and just like pull yourself in, and you manage to make it in onto the platform.
Is it there? Like there?
Anywhere
like,
there's platform counts as a place on the platform if you want to stand there.
I'm
And
gonna.
you make it through, and your nose is bleeding a little bit. Your nose starts bleeding a little bit.
I'm gonna just look at him, and through gritted teeth, I'm gonna just go, Thailander, you wanted to negotiate? Well, how's this? It's time to parlay, and we're gonna throw the sword again!
All right, the sword flies up into the air. What are you doing with it?
I'm gonna send it to stab that asshole in the face.
Yes.
Natural 20!
Oh.
Roll your damage dice. Your double damage dice.
It's double dice plus modifier, right?
Yeah, only once for the modifier. Double damage dice.
Oh, I'm so excited. I forgot what all the dice are. Oh, man. Oh, crap. That's 11 damage to him.
11 damage. Okay. All right. So you go to stab him in the face, and the knife sinks into his cheek as he channels out the energy. It pokes into his chest, like it takes this weird angle. You can see it like come out. It's the bottom of its chin, and then back into its chest as it pierces its breastplate, and just like, and you hear him cry out, "Ah!" And as it comes out, blood squirts from here and from his mouth. Oh, and he just maintains. He sort of buckles down to one knee and he maintains the channeling. Ah! And he's just like, ah! With blood just gushing from his face. And it's more distinguishable than the blood he's already covered with because this is like very, very bright in comparison to the crimson black of the blood in the cauldron.
And then I'm going to look at him, and I'm going to have my eyes flare pink, and I'm going to say, when I'm through with you, Thailander, Randy Clementine is going to look like a handsome fellow by comparison.
Ooh, can I ask you a question about? This is so awesome what you're doing. But was the sword a bonus action? Because I thought it was.
Yeah, it's a bonus action.
And the cost of you're mocking him, is that right?
Yeah, that's the regular action.
It's okay. Thought it was a bonus. Okay, it's fine. Let's just do that. We can trade that in. Say the insult again. I ruined your delivery.
Thailander, when we're through with you, Randy Clementine is going to look like a handsome fellow by comparison.
Constitution save, right? 14?
It is wisdom save 14.
Fail. Roll your damage dice, and he gains disadvantage on his next turn. And his
4
attack
damage
rolls.
and disadvantage.
Disadvantage on his attack rolls, right?
Correct.
Okay,
me
you do
double
4 more
check that. I
damage
think
to
that's
it, and you just see like, he lowers just a little bit as if his soul was sinking along with the rest of his body. 11 was... Sorry, 4 damage? You did a whole 4?
Yeah.
Cool. Nice roll. 25. All right, so, yeah, you continue it further. Is that the end of your turn?
That's it. That's the end of the turn.
He goes, Thailander's kneeling there. He's like, I'm going to teach you all a lesson about messing with powers beyond your understanding. And he rips at the cords. And as he rips at the cords, it shatters the crystalline stalks.
Oh, wow.
And all around, doesn't cause any damage. I don't want to worry about that. But all around, these pieces of rock and mineral and crystal shatter around. And what you see is these fleshy green plant-like flesh things, sort of like from frozen. Some of them start to shudder and move around. And at the very top of these things, you see like this slit, this bulbous end with a slit on it. And then the one nearest to oh, I made the screen disappear. The one nearest to you, Nash, moves around. The slit sort of lowers, and then it opens up, and you see an eyeball roll around in it. This is large, yellow eyeball, and it looks around like this, and then it looks at you, Nash. And it's like this large green stalk with an eyeball, and it just looks at you, just stares at you, and you feel hatred and contempt, and you feel something watching you. In fact, everyone starts to feel like something is watching them. They start to feel horrible. And then Tyler yells, "It is done! It is done!" And then he goes to cast, let's see here. Yep. What is this? Yep. He flourishes with his hands like this, and then boom, winks out of existence.
Ah,
That bastard!
Hope is gonna scream long and loud.
Yeah.
Nate Nash, it's your turn.
Okay. So this eyeball is right in front of me now, on a stalk, staring at me.
Yeah, so there's a long, like, green and black, fleshy sort of, almost looks like a, an octopus leg, but without there's no suction cups. It's just fleshy thing that was like inside of it, and it looks gashed and scarred. And then at the top of it, there's this eyeball that's looking at you. It's like a plant whose flower at the end is an eyeball.
I'm going to yell, "What are you looking at?" And I'm gonna take a I'm gonna take a swing at old One Eye with my nail, my staff.
Okay.
A physical attack.
Sure thing. Go for it.
Oops, there we go. 18.
Just give me one moment, please,
No problem.
to look up a thing. All right.
Nail.
Okay, it's a hit.
Oh, sweet. Nail first. Damage dice?
Yes.
Okay. On a physical attack, I haven't done these in a while. Let's see. That's what is that? 1d6? I can't find it. Why can't I find it? Oh, I hate how they've laid this stuff out now. Hold on. Where's my staff?
So anything it's under the top right is your equipment. There's a tab there for equipment.
Yeah.
And if you click it, there'll be a tooltip that opens up on the right side that gives you details.
Oh, that's
if your
it.
item is not equipped, then you might have to equip it.
There it is. 1d6. So that's what I thought it was.
Okay.
It is a 3.
A 3. Okay. You do 3 damage to this one here. Okay, perfect. Okay, so you sink your nail into the eye, and it's right into the eye. You see a little yellow goop come out, but it appears sort of unaffected as it still beholds you very intently and is just looking. See this eye.
Wait, did you say it beholds me? Did I hear that right?
That's what word I use.
Okay. All right. I'm not saying there's anything means anything. I'm just saying. I heard you say behold, and I got a little nervous for a minute. All right.
Anything else you want to do?
Did I? So I didn't blind him or anything. He can still see me.
He's still looking at you.
That freaking butthole eyeball. All right. Yeah, that's the end of my thing.
All right. Oh, okay. So no, hang on. I actually rolled something new in the initiative order. The eyeball then looks at you even more intently, and you feel a sense that the mana waves around you are beginning to tighten and constrict, and that there's a change in the force basically around you, and it fires out. It builds up this magical. It starts to summon some sort of energy from it, and the eye begins to glow this bright yellow, and then it fires it at you, and you're immediately blinded by this light, and then I need you to roll a DC 14 Constitution save, please.
All right.
Or I usually don't say the DC. Oops. I wasn't totally reading it off something.
No, of course not.
Roll a Constitution save, please.
7.
Okay.
I don't think that makes it. I just have a 100.
It was an informative light.
As the light fades, you can see you blink a little bit, and it's in your eye, but you can see, but your limbs start to turn into wood, and you start to freeze up, and you start to, and you're just there, sitting there, angrily looking at the eye, unable to move your body. You're completely paralyzed at this point.
And I'm wood right now, really, pretty much.
You're not wood. Your limbs feel like wood. You're not actually wood. You're still Nash Magard.
All right.
Magard has become wood.
You're just standing there, just like, as it feels like everything inside you is just you can't move.
I can't speak either, right?
What's that?
Can I speak? Or am I...
You can manage to... You can't move your lips, but you can otherwise get sound out of your mouth.
Okay, so this is what I do. In my final part of this, I go... You guys!
Can't move your lips.
I know! I'm out of my tongue! I think I'm made out of wood now! That's it.
All right, Varel, your turn.
Did Tylander like soup into these tentacles, or did he like Frodo out of existence?
He Frodo'd out of existence. It's very similar to what happened in Slavetown. It's identical to what happened in Slavetown.
All right, I will. These powers are beyond my comprehension, and I'll turn around and just try to wail on the eyeball. Actually, I'm gonna try to bite its stalk.
Yeah!
Okay, you got to move a little bit to do that.
Okay, I will advance on the stalk
Yeah.
and bite it.
Okay.
This will be a reckless attack. Ooh, a 23.
All right, roll damage dice.
All right, with the extra D4 for size. 3, 2. Ooh, okay, 6, 8. 8 points of damage.
8 points of damage. Okay, so in addition to the 3 that Nash did. All right, so you bite down on it. This is a bite, sorry, or
This is a bite.
It's a bite. Is it your bite ability, or we're just doing weapon attack, like a natural weapon attack? Sorry.
This is my Hungry Jaws is used up, so I'm not healing off this. I'm not drinking blood.
Okay, so this is a natural. This is your natural weapon attack. Okay,
Right.
Cool. So you take a bite. You just take the stalk. One hand is the mouth goes insanely wide, just clamps down on it, and just black crimson blood juices pour into your mouth. You bite and tear a piece of it. Tendons snap and just break and sorry, it's all the images of too many images in my head. My mouth can't keep up. And you tear away strings of meat as the thing shudders about violently and is barely hanging on. You've almost completely severed it with your bite, and it whips around and looks itself at you, and you feel watched. You feel watched.
I look it right in the eyes and flame burst.
Okay, do the flame Constitution save, right?
Yeah, for Nash as well.
Nash, you have to make a Constitution save.
20, natural.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Okay.
Thank goodness you're not made of wood.
Yeah.
So the flame juts out, and this time the fire just like lights it up, and it begins to melt the last piece, and the eye begins to flop around violently as it hits Nash, but Nash can't move, so he just goes, "Oh!" and it flops around everywhere, and then it starts to like shrivel up. You just see it like the eye begins to close, and then behind you, you hear more movement as like 2 other eyes begin whipping around behind you, and they start to come to life. And then underneath you, the wood starts to shake violently. You feel this tremor, this earthquake under the wood, and there's like this just vibrating energy happening directly underneath you. Do you have any more actions on your turn, Rob?
That's everything.
Okay. Then it's going to be Hope's turn.
Is the barrier still up?
Is the barrier still up? Yeah, I mean the runes are still there. They haven't disappeared or anything.
Okay, so.
Oh, I thought it was gone too. I mean, I didn't think it was gone. I guess I didn't know.
Ah!
But, yeah.
All right. Well, I'll move down to the other side of the. Well, I guess where there was a crystal, and I'll.
Yeah, it's now
like,
green and black.
like,
It's a
dropping
green and black
bullets.
stalk.
So freaking angry, dropping bullets on the ground as I finally shove 2 into my shotgun, and then I take aim at the nearest green stalk.
Okay. Shoot away.
Ooh, 7.
Yeah, so you fire out with your rage. You hear it hit the wall behind, and miss.
And then I'll scream out, Thailander, you're gonna bleed out before you ever leave this room.
And then you hear from the corner Quizquazi. Just hear him laugh at what you said. Thinks it's funny.
He's such a dick. Just back there laughing.
All right. Any other moves for you, Hope?
I'm gonna reload my shotgun and then look around and see if I can see any footprints. I'm slowly becoming a bit obsessed with footprints in the ground.
So you didn't move. You're sort of still off in the corner, though?
I moved down 2 squares.
Okay, cool. So you're looking for footprints?
Yes.
Or you're looking for signs of Thailander?
Yes.
Because you would know the turns are happening in the space of 6 seconds. You would have a sense. Okay, yeah, let's do that. Let's do. You've taken your main action though.
Yeah. So this could be some next turn.
So yeah, it would have to be a skill check that would be a main action unless you have a feature that lets you do it as bonus or something.
Cool.
To track him, you wanted to track him. That was your intent, right?
Yeah. I'm moving into a more obsessive mindset.
Okay. You don't see anything, but you definitely heard a couple little clip clops of blood.
Okay.
You definitely know he did move. You heard it.
Okay.
Perfect. All right. Okay, Stanley, it's your turn.
All right, for the start of my turn, I'm going to send diplomacy down to the southernmost stock to make an attack.
Okay.
And that is going to be an 13 to hit.
Okay. The eye, the eye whips around, opens its eye, and rolls over. It sees your sword, and then it makes itself into a U shape as the sword flies through it. And then it swings around and looks at the sword, and is all like.
Does the sword feel watched?
And the sword feels watched.
Oh
and
no!
You feel like someone watched you make that error of combat.
Uh-oh. I'm also going to, I will use my action to see if I can see any sort of sign of the direction Thailander might have fled in the blood, like
Okay, because that was your
disturbances
bonus
or-
action, right? The other thing? So you
Right.
can count, yeah. Okay, sure. Roll on tracking. It's survival. Roll a survival.
Sing while you do it.
Roll a survival and sing while... Oh, yeah, sing. That was for you, Joe.
Thank you. That is quite good.
No,
it's
you're
a-
supposed to sing.
Oh,
I misinterpreted and started singing. Scott instructed you to sing, or Nash, rather, instructed you to
Yeah,
sing.
of the Southern
I
Ones.
don't give Nash what he wants. That's a 12.
Okay. You take a quick glance around and have a look, and you do see fresh footprints baked into the blood, or not baked, but impressed into the blood as it runs off. And you put him about here, hiding behind somewhere in this area. He's run off to
All right, I am going
behind
to...
one of the eye stalks, not the one you targeted.
I'm going to try to move as close to that as I can.
Okay,
I know...
you can move right all the way there. You can move right to that eye stalk. The eye stalk turns around and looks at you as it approaches and rears up and has like a little hunch, like a cat has a hunch in its back and has a hunch in its back as it rears up and just looks at you. You feel watched.
Super watched. That's going
As
to
you
be
actually,
it for
and
me.
as you walk into this space, you bump something invisible. You walk into there and it's like you run into a wall and you hear. Ugh!
Well, hello, Thailander.
However,
And that's my
you
turn.
don't see anything. Okay.
I don't have anything else to do, otherwise I'd be
Yeah.
grabbing him or something. So I'll just say hello, Thailander.
So the stock you attack beholds your sword, looks at it, and it rears up. And this one, its eyes turn red. It looks and it's, and it fires at it. It lights up and just like this, moves into it. Oops, that's a D12. All right, so and what it does is it attempts to actually grab it. As the eyes light up, it sort of lowers down and attempts to wrap itself around the sword, trying to grapple it. So can you actually roll a not a saving throw, but a skill check for the sword? No modifiers, just give me a roll.
Okay. Natural 20.
So the sword, with the intelligence of its own, dances, because it is a dancing sword, out of the way as the sword, it tries to grab the sword to sort of detain it. It seems to realize the intelligence you see in this eye is that it realizes it can't use whatever magic it was intending to, so it made an attempt to grab it, and the sword just dances around. All right, and the other eye stalk that's next to you, Stanley, staring at you, looking at you. You have to roll. Please roll a dexterity saving throw.
All right. 14.
Okay. You begin to slow down. So the eye it has this almost this weird energy as it, and you can see it blinking very quickly, and you almost become mesmerized by it. And then you begin to, you're unable to move, but something different's going on with you than what you noticed Nash was happening to him. You start to slow down. You feel your body changing inside, and you become ill, and you're unable to move.
All right.
Welcome to the party.
All right, Varel, it's your turn.
I don't like this at all.
Oh, did we skip Nash's turn because he's frozen?
Nope, that was so it was Nash. It was what? Nash. Oh no, did we?
Yeah.
No, Nash's turn is up next. It's Hope Stanley, and it's Tylander. So Tylander does some stuff.
Some invisible business.
And then now it's Nash's turn. It's his normal turn in the turn order. Nash, it's your turn.
All right, my
Now,
turn.
you can, when you end your turn, you can make a saving throw to end the effect that's on you.
Oh.
Not that you can do very much. You are currently, what's the effect that I have on you? Sorry, it's
I'm
you're
immobile.
currently paralyzed, which means you're incapacitated, and you automatically fail strength and dexterity saving throws, and attack rolls have advantage on you.
Okay.
Yeah, and you can't move or speak.
But
Although we're letting you speak for comedic effects. So
Do I know what my status is?
yeah, you consider yourself becoming petrified.
Okay, so all I really can do is roll for, do a saving roll.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, well, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Okay, there we go. 14.
It's Constitution.
Oh. Hold on.
You have a good Constitution, right?
Pretty good, but let me just go back and look.
Tell us about your
Plus
constitution.
3, so 14, 15, 16, 17.
Okay. So you're so angry about this state of affairs. You're really pissed about it. Nash Magard from the Still Their Minds can't be held back, and you just will yourself free, and your body shakes free, and you just give yourself a little back pull as you're like, oh shit, and you're back with it. But you're free from whatever magical hold is on you. But that's the end of your turn.
Okay. I'm good then.
Okay, so Varel, it's your turn.
All right. Visually, is there anything wrong with Stanley?
Visually, you look over at Stanley.
Prior to now, or
Nash. You start to see like these sort of veiny brown lines and pigments begin to cover his arm and his face as he doesn't look well. It's a sickness unfamiliar to you, and he's stoically taking it, but you notice he's not well. That eye has done something to him.
All right. Stanley! And I will run over to the eyeball and I'll grapple it to kind of grab it by the lids and point it at the ceiling.
Do it!
Advantage strength because I'm raging.
Okay.
23.
nice.
Wow, I rolled high too, and you did it. Okay, you grab one lid, rip it open. The other lid, rip it open, and just go ah! And you point it towards the ceiling, and you're holding it in place. It cannot do anything. It hasn't had an impact yet on Stanley, but it's your eye stock now. All right,
Awesome.
Hope, your turn. Or unless you have something else you can do. Sorry, I don't.
I am raging, so I'll flame burst.
Okay, saving throw, Stanley.
What kind of saving
Actually,
throw?
are you affected by it right now?
He's in the range, yeah.
No, I mean because he's
Because he's petrified.
Oh,
Maybe because he's made. We could really make him actually made out of wood, and the fire will set him on fire.
that's why I was so concerned about you.
Same team, Nash. Same team. Same team.
Well, just to see, so we'd know. You know, we have some good information for future fights.
okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You're not petrified yet, Stanley, because you were asking me what was the status. You're currently restrained. However, you have a sickness about you that is going to happen very rapidly and not going to end very well, and will cause you to be petrified, maybe. So that's currently. So you are affected by the flames. You're
Okay,
still flush.
What type of saving throw
DC
is it?
13, Constitution, I believe.
Yep.
Okay, it's a 19.
Okay.
I don't know why I
Taking
was
a
so
fire
worried
damage.
about it. I rolled an 18, and that's a
The
really
stock
good
does.
roll.
The stock itself does take 2 fire damage. This is a 5, and the other one is. We haven't revealed that yet. Okay, so Varel has flames thingied. Hope, it's your turn.
Flame
All right.
thingied.
What I'm gonna do is I'm mumbling to myself, and I'm gonna mumble it to myself in Infernal and be like, "Tova Price sucks. He's the worst. You're a terrible demon. You hear it?" As I walk towards where the entrance of.
There's no more entrance though. Keep in
Okay,
mind,
well, where
rocks
the
have-
rocks fell down.
Yep. Okay.
Cool. I'll walk in front of that to give myself distance between where the eyes seem to be popping up, where the crystals were.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll take aim again at the eyeball in front of me that I shot at before and
Okay.
fire.
Okay. You lift up your shotgun, take a shot, roll.
Cool. And this one's gonna go a bit better with a 23.
Okay. Roll your damage dice.
All right. So we're doing 16 damage.
Whoa.
Okay. So you line up your shotgun towards this eye stalk, and the eye stalk turns and swings to look at you suspiciously as it is distracted from dealing with the sword that's flying around. It knows, it watches you, and you feel like you're being watched as you move. And
I'll
Look,
spit on
shot-
the ground.
you still feel judged. That makes you angry. It makes you spit, but it's judging you. The eye has the look of judgment, and you just raise up your gun, and as you fire it out, you see the bullet sink into the eyeball and just like smashing an egg open, nothing but liquid, and the iris sort of flies out, hits the ceiling behind you, and the stalk just like splits and falls to the ground and starts withering, goes, and you hear a loud rumbling coming from under the wood paneling of as it like shakes, and you hear this unnatural, ungodly sound of like, and the floor shakes, and Stanley, you're still partly on it, you're like, whoa, I'm trying to hold on to this eyelid, it's shaking. But you destroy this thing pretty completely. You're pretty certain that your shot connected and destroyed it as it falls down. Okay. Anything else for your turn?
Aside from that, I'm gonna start screaming in Infernal to Thailander, telling him basically that his time is up, and I'm gonna be the one to end it.
Okay. All right. Now it is Stanley's turn. Now, Stanley, you have the restrained condition, which I believe means you can still do things. People have advantage on you, and you have disadvantage on your attack rolls, and disadvantage on dexterity saves, and your speed is 0.
What about
Otherwise, you can do stuff.
magical swords that are moving independent of me? Do those have advantage or not? Or
Nope.
disadvantage?
Nope, because that sword makes its own attack roll, I believe. I could be misremembering, but let's just say that's the case now.
Okay, so bonus action, I'm going to move it over to the eye stalk. What did me wrong?
Yeah.
It's going to fly straight up in the air above the eye stalk where Varel is aiming it, and flies straight down at it.
Okay. Roll an attack
Natural
roll.
20.
On fire!
This
You found-
dice is so good.
We found a dice defect that you have to stop using immediately.
No, I love this dice. This is my favorite dice.
All right, go for it. Roll your double damage dice. That's an incredible luck. It's 5% on 5%.
That's 8 damage.
Okay, you sink the blade into it, and it screams at Varel. You can feel it shaking as the knife sinks in, and it's trying to struggle free from your grip as the sword is like right into the eye, straight down. You're just holding its eyes open, you're like, look at this. This is gross. It's like as you're holding onto it, like a big drop of like eye yolk, just rolls down.
Ew.
You lick it to taste
Oh,
it.
jeez.
Salty like tears.
Good. It's a little viscous, but
Eye
it was
yolk.
all right.
You had me at eye yolk, to be honest.
Okay. You have used your bonus action here.
Yep. Can I take a swipe at it with my dagger?
You are in range, and you can make an attack. You have disadvantage on this attack roll.
I rolled the same across the board, so it's none of it's good. It's going to
Alright,
be a 12.
Just try and swing out, but don't connect to it, unfortunately. And you feel your body starting to, your lungs and everything's just slowing as your body. So now you're going to need to make a saving throw, and it is a dexterity saving throw, and you need this one to succeed. I'm just going to say that.
You have advantage too.
I do?
None.
You have
Oh.
disadvantage. Wait, does that count?
It's not terrible.
You have disadvantage on dexterity saving throws, keep in mind.
Oh, crap. All right, well,
I'm sorry
First-
about that.
first roll was 17. Let's see what the second roll is.
19. Come on.
It's better. It's 18. So it's 17.
Okay. All right, and I'll just say it needed to be 16, or you're basically
Oof.
dead. You fight. You summon all the anger and rage you have. You consider Talia. You remember her. You consider your time before that when you were freed, and you're like, no, my tale does not end here. And you just use all of your magical essence. You don't know. You can't explain how or why it is, but the brown-looking, veiny things just recede. You feel a renewed sense of vigor as the magical effects fade from you, and you successfully don't get petrified. And with that, let's go to break. To tell
Oh
ourselves
my
off. And let's take our
Oh.
midway break.
No, that's awesome. We'll be back, everybody, in a second. Don't go anywhere. Everyone go pee.
There will be dungeon.
We shall be back momentarily.